Hello, everybody. Oh, Charles, yes, I will check it, my man. Check them every day. I check voicemails every day. Especially if you use the app, because if you use the app, they just go to my, they just go directly to my email. If you call the 1-844-TOM and Dan number, then I have to do a little more work. But I still get them all. Do you want to address EJ, Tom? Or do you not want to give him the time of day? I wouldn't give him the time of day. I wouldn't let him bother me like that. Actually, I would. I'm more that. That's more my speed, letting things bother me.
Marlon.
It's
not Marlon.
It's not Marlon. Yeah. I think.
And Marlon.
I can say it both ways. You want to hear the I? Ready? Marlon. You want to hear the O? Marlon.
It's the same.
No, it's a very subtle. No one will pick up on it. Especially in the South. Especially in the South. And then also, I threw Tom, and I don't even think EJ meant to do this, but I threw Tom an advanced move when I said Merlin. And that's the nail in the coffin.
yeah. That
never go Merlin.
Sometimes, I don't know, do you feel like this is like if
I want to call people's names wrong, so they'll be like, what? And I want them to get mad, so something will fail because it's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
So when Joy, the sweet lady that was in here yesterday, I kind of wanted her to be like, what the fuck kind of shim-sham is this? Scotty, you didn't tell me. This is my impression of Joy. That's not very flattering.
But she wrote us a very nice email today.
She's a new ally. She's an ally of the show. But I wanted her to get mad, and then you're like, oh, because you'll be like, what's happening? What's that? Well, and then you'll try to make it. You'll be like, it's fine. Everything looks fine. And you're hugging Scotty, and you'll start doing things you don't even need to do. Like you're overcompensating. You're like hugging Scotty. You're calming her down. Please don't leave. Please don't leave. And she's like tearing the studio apart. That's what I want. But I'm never gonna get that.
What happens to me
We used to get that.
I look at someone's name. I'm like, all right, don't, and I practice in my head. I'm like, all right. And then when the time is right, and then it's all, the lights are on, it's recording.
You lose it. I do that.
And you know what it is? It's the goddamn chat room waiting for me to fail, and they're so
they love it.
They're like, ah.
Now remember. I
and
took
then
a
I
lot
know
of shit.
they want it.
I took a lot of
so
shit for calling them
me.
out for that. I took so much shit because people were like, "Oh, Dan, you can't let us be assholes to Tom at all times in the chat room." And I'm like, "Well, it's not really good for productivity. It's not. It's not good for productivity." I took so much shit about it. Like this isn't a fucking business. Like we don't have shit to do. It does subconsciously. It bothers everybody. It's like the time Jim Colbert tried to tell me I love being hated. No one loves being hated. No one loves being hated. It's not not the human way.
Okay, if you're a heel in wrestling, I think you do love being hated because
that's a fake hate.
And I think if you
it's a disconnect. It's fake hate.
Yeah, I can disconnect,
but it's real.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It only matters.
You're on the back of the train. You're trying to pull and disconnect the caboose. And it won't go. And you're just going to go off the cliff.
I could just I could tell myself whatever I want to hear.
Okay, yeah.
So if I'll just tell myself, oh, they don't like me because I'm good at being a heel. And I'm good at, them.
We're going to talk about it. Well, I said it to you. There's a whole Reddit thread about how we fucking suck now. We're going to talk about it on a BDM show. But when we run out of shit to talk about.
He didn't say we sucked. He just said,
doesn't like the direction of the show because I'm a pussy and you're over-medicated.
Well, I also take offense to that. That people are like, oh, he's all hopped up on Adderall. That's just because I said it. If I never told anybody about Adderall, you'd never even know the difference.
I'm not allowed to agree with that.
No.
Because if I do, I'm a pussy. I'm supposed to call out bullshit.
Because there's.
But what if I don't like calling out bullshit? It's not in my natural. I don't think, I'll call out real bullshit, but we're doing a fucking show. I don't feel the need to call people on fucking bullshit on the show. That's not fun.
Plenty of days I come in here off of Adderall because I forget to renew my prescription, And then it runs out, and they give it to me 3 months and like 3 months of digital prescriptions, right? So then I tell myself I've been doing this for years. I'm like, I make a reminder so you don't get to the third month.
You think the Adderall would help that? Hey, comedy!
I need more. Anyway, and then I don't make a reminder, and then I run out, and then I call Publix. I'm like, hey, can you put in the next digital prescription?
You know what? You don't have to whisper when you do those anymore. I don't judge you. I love you. Look into my eyes. I do not judge you. I don't like
telling
Look into my
people
eyes. I do not judge you. I love you.
I don't like the.
I understand, but you don't need to. I hear you're in there whispering. You're like,
hello, this is Tom.
yeah, because you're thinking.
I'm calling to see if you can find some Adderall. I'm freaking the fuck out, man.
Yeah, because you're in here
we
judging me.
This is a funny bit.
You're judging me.
I am not. I am not judging you.
You're judging me.
I'm not judging you at all.
You're like, he's addicted to
No, I'm not.
Speed.
In the middle of the night, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I smoke my tooth pen until it turns red. No battery. I smoke so much I have to go back to sleep. I'm addicted to marijuana. I have no room to talk.
But your business partner doesn't judge anybody. Like, I sit back here, I'm
but you're assuming. I'm telling you, I'm not judging you. They might be judging you, looking at the chat room, but I'm not judging you. I'm telling you, speak your truth. Stand on your business. You don't need to whisper around me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad you're addicted to it.
If the chat room was in the room next door, I'd be whispering, so they don't fucking judge me. Anyway.
Oh, they're so judgy.
So then.
And the real offenders aren't even in there. They're not even in there.
So I don't
Pass the fucking word.
The Adderall, it's like a little amphetamine performance enhancement.
Yeah, they're all saying it. They're all saying it.
Yeah, keeps your brain
They're like,
sharp.
look, he's in the loop. He's in the over-medication loop. He's saying the same thing. And the pussy's taking up for him. The little one, that's the pussy. That's pretty funny little bit we did there. All right.
We're just waiting, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me double check. Make sure. Looking just to make sure that we don't have. He didn't ask for the Zoom link, but normally he doesn't need it. He has it.
Oh, we are getting a phone call.
Grab it. That could be it. I don't see anything.
It was. I answered it, but it's just the
dial tone.
But it was ringing. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Hello, Tom and Dan. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, it does air live on our Twitch and YouTube, but we're recording it to air later. Today, actually, it'll just be recording tonight or air tonight. Oh yeah, no problem. We're just 100%.
Oh, don't worry about us.
Oh yeah. No, we know how radio is. There are a bunch of Big Frog and Tampon in the mornings. They're taking all. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I can give you
Here, I'll cut it.
Oh, this is Tom. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. Okay. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thanks, bye.
That's why I like the honey over vinegar approach, right? Yeah. Always just be accommodating.
Well, she thought we were like...
Because everybody's always a dickhead. No, if you're just like, it's fine, yeah, like go with the flow.
I'm like, this is new media. There's no times that we have to fucking worry about.
That is true. Well, except when we don't want to work anymore. Like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, within 5 to 10 minutes.
I do think it would be kind of cool if you were sitting somewhere and I was sitting somewhere. Like, let's say you're at home with your son sitting on the couch and you're about to load up ridiculousness. And I'm in the kitchen helping my wife cook and Maisie's coming down the stairs. And then I look at my phone and it's Billy. And he's like, hey, I got the ghost of Jelly Roll, and he could talk to you guys right now. It'd be cool if we could, like, put on a thing and just, like, boom, boom, and we're there.
Oh, yeah, with some
Vroom,
VR.
I want to boom, boom. I don't even know what that is yet, but it's going to happen. It is going to happen, even if it's some version of our phone where it just sounds really good, because all I need is the video. I mean, the audio. I don't need the video.
I could, okay, if we ever, you know, obviously, well, when we retire or loose retire, it would be cool if we could
My wife's vagina has loose retirement.
if we could just pop on some VR, you know, goggles every once in a while and do a show.
It'd be cool.
Like, and then, you know, it's like maybe we've got a couple sponsors or whatever, and then we do 1 or 2 shows a month. And then people are like, oh,
so we got stamps.com, Squarespace.
I don't know. They pay per 1,000 of viewers, so we're just going to have our standards.
You know what's going to come back around? It's going to be Thurston's used electric cars.
Yeah.
You know what I've been trying to find, and I can't find a really good quality version of it. If somebody can rip this from their DVD or Blu-ray collection, there's an episode of The Simpsons where they talk about electric cars, and it's like, it's Homer and Bart, and I think they ride in General Motors ride. It's called like the future, the electric car, and they get in it, and the car is going. It's like, I'm an electric car. I can't go very far. I'm gay, and I want it so bad because it's so. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's so funny, and I was like, that should be what my car says when I walk away from it. The Simpsons electric car.
The Simpsons used to
go hard. They go hard.
Yeah. Well, no, it was funny, but back then it wasn't even considered that hard. Now,
I found it. But it's not. This isn't a good one.
Like,
This isn't a good one here.
Welcome to the electric car of the future, sponsored by the gasoline producers of America.
Hello, I'm an electric car. I can't go very fast or very far, and if you drive me, people will think you're gay. One of us. One of us.
I think that's gonna be my new Tesla's locks out, and then the gay guy's yelling "one of us." That would be awesome, right? Actually, that's a good quality clip. Let me save that.
The fucking writers on The Simpsons are funny as
Conan
shit,
O'Brien was writing at that time.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I think I looked up the origin of that joke one time too, because I haven't watched The Simpsons in a while, and if you go back to really, really old Simpsons, oh man, it goes.
Oh,
it goes,
dude. My sons,
and there's some really adult jokes in there.
My sons got into The Simpsons, and we started going back to the catalog, and you're right. In going back to like early 2000s Simpsons, like pre-2010, and like it's super funny writing, and the boys liked it.
Super witty.
Yeah. And I was like, God damn, this is entertaining.
And the episodes come back around really like it. They package them up real tight.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, shit. It's the reason why it's still on, right? I mean, goddamn, how long? How many?
Okay, I've done something for the first time. You can help me remember it to talk about it because I'm so bad at remembering things to talk about. I've never gone through an entire series and then restarted it except for one time. Right now, Bob's Burgers. That's it.
No, really.
It's the only time. Maisie burned through the entire Bob's Burgers, and then right before dance, like last week, she's like, "Are we finished?"
He said any minute now.
Okay. Oh, good. Hopefully it connects. Sometimes the thing is weird. If not, we'll just do phone. It's not a big deal.
I think he's in now, she said. No?
No. Because it pops up. It gives you like a little thing.
Should I, it's just, is it a specific or is
it's way specific. I can text it to you.
Yeah, text it to me. I'll send it to her.
Let me see if I can do that. Going to you. Billy just texted me that he just hung up, so. Where are you? There we go. not going to be able to do that on the new machine. Maybe better just to call.
It's fine. She said it's his last
Yeah,
thing.
but I know he's got to be out at 1. Because he's got like a doctor's thing or something.
All right. Well, she's got the link. Oh, God.
What's wrong?
No, getting blood all over.
What happened?
No, when I fell down.
Don't talk about him. Oh, you're a bloody mess. Just go get you gonna need another Band-Aid?
No, well, I put a Band-Aid on
you need to put a Band-Aid on that one.
But I thought this one was dry enough.
That's a nice shiner you
it's
got
all
there.
wet.
Yeah, just get that plasma all over there. The cleaning lady comes tomorrow. She's gonna think something bad happened. Hold on, I got some Clorox over there.
We got weird Band-Aids in there. That's like you have to peel the thing off twice. I don't like that. Like
those are special band. You're not supposed to be using those. I think those are the Second Skin Neosporin Band-Aids. There should be just regular old strips. Oh, got him. Here we go. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Good. Let's start, because I know you got limited time, and we are excited to see you, man. Congrats on everything. Personally, congrats on everything, and glad to see you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Trying to be somebody.
Yeah,
working hard.
I mean, yeah. Okay, Tom, you start. Here we go.
Yeah.
3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's not waste any time. We have a very special guest, and he looks like he's in the middle of traversing. He's out and about.
He's going to be at the Florida Theater in Jacksonville on May 2nd, and also the Barbara Mann Performing Arts Hall in Fort Myers, May 3rd. You can get your tickets at marlonwayans.com, and on Zoom with us is Marlon Wayans. How you doing, Marlon?
I'm good, man. Life is good. I'm on my morning walk. Just had me a green juice. So I'm a poo real good today.
I love it. You got to get the green juice in, get you going. Hey, man.
When you get over 50, all you want to do is take the right poo to start your day.
You're over 50? It blows my mind every time.
Don't say that.
52, man.
What?
52? Yeah, it's been a minute.
Man.
It's been a minute since we talked to you. We were going to. Okay, we had done so much research, and we were so excited because these hurricanes came into Florida. We were going to get to talk to you, and then was it right after he had been on Club Shay Shay?
I think, yeah. You had to cancel your Florida gigs because of our damn hurricanes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I sure did.
But then that thing blew up like a vehicle. Like that was one of the biggest online things I'd ever seen.
So Marlon,
I know when he gets this $100 million deal, he owes me 10%.
So Marlon, that's what I wanted to talk to you. You've been doing this a long time. You've done a lot of media. I mean, you're doing it right now. You all know how it goes. You do hundreds of these shows. It never moves the needle. Tom and Dan will sell you a couple tickets.
We move a couple needles.
But when you do Club Shay Shay, do you feel the needle move right after? You're like, whoa, this was big.
No. It's funny. I'm so busy working that I don't know when something hits. Because I care about the work. I don't care about what the results are. I never do anything for results. I just do it because I love the work. Okay. And so, I looked up after that, and then I got I got an award for BET and for NAACP, and all these great things just started happening, and I was just like, and it's funny because I'm so used to doing the work that I don't care. I'm just doing the work, and so, I've got this Jordan Peele movie coming out, and I'm like, oh my God, I got that coming out in September. I got all this stuff happening, and I don't know because I'm just doing the work.
Well, they kind of announced that around the same time, so I kind of feel like the Club Shay Shay deal, Monkey Paw, all of that was being announced at the same time. We got a little taste of the movie. The movie's now coming out in September. Now we got announced. I didn't even know this until, your people told us that there's a new scary movie film. I mean, damn, man, how do you find the time?
You make the time. I dated a girl once, and she was like, I was like, I don't have time. She was like, you make the time. It's your time. You're 24 hours in a day. You have, so many seconds and minutes, and what are you going to put your energy toward? And I was like, oh, wow, that's great. And me and her didn't make it because she wanted too much time. So,
well, she probably just wanted a reasonable amount of time, Marlon.
That's like a Chinese parent.
Hold on, Marlon.
And I'm going to work more.
Let me defend her for a second. She probably just wanted a normal human couple's amount of time,
she's
right?
Got the comedian Black Superman is going crazy. He's doing everything in every direction.
Yeah. You're working so much, Marlon. And listen, every time you come on the show, we always talk about how you're a workaholic and how much you do.
Well, we love that. It's inspiring to us because we do it too.
Yeah. And
not as well.
But you love your job. You're not working. You're just having fun, man. You got to remember, I'm blessed that I'm not, I'm not mining for coal. I'm not,
right.
Yes. I'm not risking my life fighting fires. There's people, I think comedians and entertainers, we get paid too much. I feel like the people that save lives, policemen and firemen, soldiers, they need to get paid more.
Yeah, but Marlon, we're entertaining them. You see what I'm saying? We're the real heroes. You see?
That's why the money needs to come to us. I agree.
I mean, they're putting out the fires, but we're making them laugh. You see?
We're starting them.
Yes.
What's a fire? We start the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to see how grumpy a fireman is if there are no scary movies. You know what I mean? That's gotta.
You feel me? You're right. You're right.
So, Marlon, I know you're working all the time. You don't have time to notice whether something's blowing up or not. But do you feel it on your social? You have to feel like people must text you, I'm saying? All of a sudden you do something, and then all of a sudden your social's blowing up. You're getting a lot more texts, and so you must have some barometer, right?
No, you know what I am starting to see is, wow, your range is crazy. That's what I'm starting to hear. Finally, people are biting down on my range and my abilities and of what over the years, I've just done the work. And so I've done the work with so much passion and effort that now things are becoming easier for me. And the audience is like, wow, there's not many people that have that kind of range that could go from Little Man to Requiem for a Dream, from White Chicks to him. It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
And it's just, that's the way I've designed myself. I've always been a guy that I always wanted to do everything. I wanted to do comedy. I want to do stand-up. I want to do sketch. I want to do parody. I want to do action. I want to do drama. I want to do romance. I want to do it all.
But
the key is, that I'm doing what I love, and I'm excelling at it. How are you doing, baby?
Good. How are you?
Hey, doggy. How you doing? Come on. All right. I'm good. I'm on an interview. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. We don't matter.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. I think that's even cool. It's cool to be like a little slice of life.
She edited my specials.
Oh, right on. That's very cool.
So she sees me on my morning walk, and so I give her a hug.
Yeah, everybody's basically agreeing that the range thing, the aspect of the range, very difficult for you to break into the more serious aspect, or no? Was that easy?
That's easier for me. Drama, I got pain. I got things to cry about. Comedy's hard. How do I take this thing that broke me and make people laugh at me and laugh at the pain and find the funny? That's hard.
Yeah, I was about to say, Marlon, is that I believe being a comedic actor is way harder than doing drama.
It's desperate. You got to be funny. You know how hard it is to be funny?
Yeah.
Robert De Niro is a great actor. I don't know if he did an hour of stand-up. Am I going to laugh at that?
Yeah, I don't think he would.
But Eddie Murphy can make you laugh, and then he does drama, and you're like, oh, wow, that was amazing. Because, same thing with guys like Robin Williams, Jim Carrey. As a comedian, you are you're always vulnerable. You're always a fool. You allow yourself and allow the audience into your world and into your heart. And we extract the pain and go, here's what's funny about this. But it's not till you get older or my assistant just called me. Sorry, came to get me because now I got a meeting. And she's like, I'm going to go looking for you because you're on your morning walk. I got to get you to your interview.
Yeah.
So, but drama, you got to take, hold on, my assistant, she's a black woman and she has her car on black people. It is so hot in here. It's why? What is going, you okay? It is on Africa. She got what's that called? Thermostat set to slavery. So for comedians, you know, it's easier for us to do drama because we don't have to worry about jokes. So now we get to focus on all that stuff that hurt us that we never got to pay attention to because we locked into a safe because all we wanted to do was extract the funny. And what's funny about it? And we took all the pulp and we put that away. But when you asked us to open that up and recycle that into what we really felt about the experience, yeah, there's a lot of real trauma and drama in that's going to be, you know, wonderful.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, Marlon, and it's the amount of work you're doing is a testament to how talented you are. And also, I gotta say, I agree with your last girlfriend. You're doing too much. You're on your morning walk doing a Zoom interview with us,
and then I'm headed to another meeting.
I mean, it's too
and
much.
his management pulls up in a car, in a hot car. They're like, jump in this Africa car. We gotta make you more money, man.
You don't have to do this everything. You know, like you
guys know me. You know I love it. I love what I do.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, you've been on the only person that's been on our show more than you is Guy Torrey. It's the only person, like truly, it's the only comedian.
Guy, he lives down there. He has no excuse. He's always down there smoking a cigar. Y'all let him smoke inside that nice office you guys got. I want to steal your office for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you have it, man. Hey, thank you for the time.
I think I was your first guest. I think I was your first real guest.
First week.
First
week. Yes, it was the first week.
I think I was your first real guest. I broke y'all virginity. I popped y'all's little cherries.
You did.
Hold on. John Lovitz was in here right before he...
Yeah, John Lovitz.
But you didn't really feel it with John Lovitz. Yeah, I made an impact.
But he had a little dog and he peed on our couch. It's fine. It's fine.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
and
fine.
I sat in that space. Damn that dog.
Other side. Hey, 2 shows in Florida, and we know you got your tickets already. Florida Theater in Jacksonville, May 2nd, 8 p.m. You can get your tickets at marlonwayans.com. Also, Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall in Fort Myers on the 3rd at 8 p.m.
Thank you, Marlon. We appreciate it, man.
Hey, thank you guys, man. Great seeing you. One day I've been asking you, what's y'all podcast setup for the longest time? I'm going to get you. Hey, can we get their number? Because I'm actually because me and my brothers are actually going to do a podcast.
We got you.
But I don't want to just give it to. We're going to own it. I want to do it and like. If I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be mine. I'm not gonna. Sorry.
We do it right.
Yeah. We will let you. Listen. Once Shannon Sharp got that 100
million,
Shannon
Sharp can do a podcast. He can barely talk. He can do one.
100 million. Marlon, he made 5 times more than he did playing NFL.
Crazy.
He's the NFL Hall of Famer.
He's a much better athlete than he is a speaker. I haven't done word than the last 3 years. At the interview, I need a translator.
100 million, Marlon.
That's so insanely mean and accurate.
I love when white guys get jealous. I love it.
I'm just saying, anyway.
The audacity.
All right, man. Hey, have a good meeting, okay?
Love, man.
Love right now. See you, dude. That's a nice guy.
Yeah. Marlon's always great.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Why does he talk to us when he's that rich? He don't need to talk to us.
Yeah, he's been in here a bunch of times. He's been coming here for.
He has a good relationship with us. We do. We're
9-10 years. I think he went to the old studio in your house.
He did.
But so back to the
he did. But he was. It's weird. He also has one of those memories that. Well, let's talk on this for just a second. That guy's IQ He's like, I think he's secretly one of the smartest people we've ever talked to.
Yeah.
Because, like, and not in a weird way. You know, like when you talk to high IQ people and they're weird and you're like, well, I know that guy's a high IQ guy. He doesn't have that. He's cool high IQ guy. But it's very high because he did remember that I think it was the first week we even moved in here. He was our first actual guest. He remembers our names. He remembers that he wants the studio. He remembered that our carpet, like the carpet. He remembers that, like, he'll write us. He'll hit me up on Instagram and remember things. It's weird.
Yeah, I know. And his publicist was like, "Oh, Marlon wanted to make sure to do your guys' show. He loves you guys."
He didn't need to do that. He's out exercising.
The Shannon Sharp deal. Obviously, you just announced he got $100 million, and it's a testament to nowadays media companies cannot take advantage of someone's popularity, right? Because your popularity is free now through the internet, and you can have control of your own popularity. So Shannon Sharp, obviously super popular guy. He starts this YouTube show, this podcast, Club Shay Shay. People
I hate the name, by the way.
Yeah, but regardless.
For no reason, really. I think he could have done a better name.
Marlon Wayans does Club Shay Shay, and I looked at the views as near 10 million.
Yeah.
So 10 million people, that's what an NBA game gets. You see what I'm saying? Like, and this is a guy, Shannon Sharp, sitting, drinking some whiskey, and, the whole operation... $5,000.
You know what I'm saying? Williams, you just get one crazy person on.
No, and then obviously it's like people like his interview style, whatever's not is like I
think people like his personality.
His personality, they like how real it is or whatever. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
He's fun.
10 million. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are right underneath the video, and then once you garner that big of an audience and that much popularity, then other media companies that want to obviously buy it and sell the advertising, they have to give you your full value. They cannot undercut you anymore because
they can't play.
30 years ago, he would have never known how popular it was, and then someone would have been paying him $500,000 a year, maybe $200,000 a year. You know what I'm saying?
If you're talking like top tier radio talk show host.
Yeah.
Is that the role you're kind of putting him in?
Or something like that.
That'd be about right.
And then it's like, or maybe $1 million. But it's like now it's like, oh, you're getting $10 million or 10 million views on every interview.
But I also feel like
100 million.
But I also
like
feel
100 million.
But I also feel like everything's inflated. And I think of this all the time. Like, okay.
It's like an NFL deal. That's $100 million based on the length of the contract.
Yeah, but even the views. I mean, like everything. Like the entire thing is all inflated. Like we'll really never know. Like when we say it has like close to 10 million views, how many of those are like I don't even know what that means. Like I just mean it's a lot.
In fact, I believe that the media company is getting screwed. They'll never be able to recoup that much money. I don't think. Now I could be wrong, and
hold on, you never say that. Hold on, let me write this down.
I've been thinking about the late.
Write this down. Jesse from Odang Hummus is laughing at me. Like, is he still from Odang? Is that like why do we even say that? That was 25 years ago. Hummus is. We don't even have chickpeas anymore.
It's Jesse from TikTok.
Jesse the influencer, Jesse the local business consultant.
Yeah, and
sorry, Jesse.
And we're gonna do a whole show.
I don't know.
Jesse
we started
tomorrow,
talking about business. I saw him behind you.
Yeah. But
I didn't mean to look through you at a real businessman, but
like they just gave $100 million to the Kelsey Brothers podcast, and then I think Jason Kelsey made more. I mean, Shannon Sharp, he played at a different time, but he made $22 million playing football, right? And of course, like I said, that was before these, teams are worth $5 billion.
Right?
Yeah. And could you imagine telling one of his coaches, like, even when like at the Hall of Fame ceremony, like he'll go on to make 5 times this amount on YouTube. People are like, I'll bet my life against that. That's ridiculous. And it just goes to show you that that's the power of the number underneath the YouTube video. Like you said, whoever like how accurate it is, whatever, but
doesn't matter.
It is a number, and that's how media is sold. Because when you have that much viewers, or at least that number under your video, then you can go to Sony and Coca-Cola and Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I want $5 million a commercial.
Like, for instance, we're on YouTube, barely. We're hanging on there. Like we're one of the many billions of people that is on YouTube. No one watches. And SJ says a 10 million view video for us would mean $108,000 in revenue.
Yeah. And that, not that much for us. Now, obviously, when a media company, they're going to split it and sell it in 20 different ways. The podcast will be sold in every state, and their IP address will be sold with local commercials. Sure. Now they're doing, so then you start breaking it off on all these pieces, and with a big enough team, you can turn
now,
it into
as a viewer, I don't like that as much because there was something cool about getting those ads that weren't specific to you that you couldn't buy.
It's old podcasting.
Yeah, I'm an old man. I like that kind of stuff. I like when I get, like, one of my favorite things about road tripping was listening to weird ads on radio stations. I'm a dumb old man. Uh-oh. Hip replacement. I can hear you.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Cool.
What's up, Dad?
Jesse, we're on Twitch and YouTube. What's up, buddy? How are you? I like your hair.
Thanks, man. It's short.
Did you get a cut? Is it shorter now? It looks nice. I'm growing mine out like a weirdo.
It's dope.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's dope, but it's something,
You got a full beard and everything going on.
Yeah, I'm going for the tiny gnome. country hillbilly gnome.
The live action.
TC, where's this go?
That's Thursday 1.
Thursday 1.
Tonight for a second.
No, tomorrow night.
Oh, shit. I thought so. Yeah.
No, you're fine. We're all over the place today, Jesse. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Any special reasons?
I'm going to New York City.
He's selling the show. We're selling the show. He's going to be on Shark Tank.
Crystal got me Ricky Gervais tickets because he's going to be at Radio City Music Hall for a couple nights.
But it's not the real Ricky Gervais. It's an impersonator. That would be funny. That would be really funny. You got to do the Home Alone.
Maybe you'll see Donnie in the hallways, You lost kid?
Yeah. Tommy, Max Van. I like the name Maximilian.
Greatest name I've ever heard.
It's a wonderful name.
Names like that.
I was talking to the boys before this. The little one. I like the little one, Max. No, it's just the mannerisms. You know what really got me doing it? Because, I am so apolitical and not a fan of any of them. But Maisie loves they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, because all of your friends in school, if you're 8, 9, and 10, you dance to the remix of that song.
Yeah. Oh, and his dance is iconic.
Yeah, it's something. The fuck is even happening?
The guy is a media darling, positive or negative, however you look at him. He just knows how to get it riled up, good or bad,
Yeah.
So,
he is certainly that man.
We literally just drove to New Jersey.
Oh, nice.
Like 2 weeks ago for a wedding. So that was a hell of a road trip back.
I do like a good long road. I did upstate New York one time. That was terrible.
So this one was actually a pretty good time. I haven't done like a real road trip like that in a long time. But Christine's stepbrother got married, so her mom and stepdad were like, we're going to drive up and we're going to bring some stuff back down. Because he had moved down here years ago. So I was like, all right, you know what I mean? And we got sidetracked because of traffic and ended up in George Washington's birthplace house. And, yeah, I was like that DMV area, by DC. And I had never been to DC, so on the way home we stopped there and just tore it up. You know what I mean? It was kind of fun. So good times.
Cool.
Come on in, buddy.
Well, I figured we have
can you grab my sweatshirt out of the way there, buddy? Sorry.
We have no real direction for today. Just I figured we'll talk shit, talk business. This will be.
I got my hip replaced, right?
Did you?
Yeah. About a month ago. So I'm on a cane. I'll be dead soon. I'll be dead soon, Jesse. Will you come to my funeral?
I will. You want me to say something there? Maybe
I do.
nice?
You know what I do? I do want you to say something.
Nice little eulogy.
I want you to walk up there and tap the mic like this, and I want you to go, It's a no for me. I'm sorry. And I wish you do the Shark Tank. Like it's a no for me, but I wish you the best of luck in hell.
You guys watch Eastbound and Down?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, when he walks with the boombox, don't bury him yet.
I might have to revisit that.
Yeah, that's the best part of the whole movie.
It goes a little Eastbound and Down. What was the baseball one?
The Kenny Powers.
All of that goes harder than Gemstones, but Gemstones is great.
Dude, I just started watching Gemstones.
Gemstones is fantastic.
The new season or the beginning?
The whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you because that first season is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait until you get to the new season. It's funny as shit.
And you haven't gotten to Eric Andre yet, have you?
No,
you have a lot of fun stuff to do.
Yeah, he just popped in the other day, and I had to shut it down.
You have a lot, and Vice Principals. You know what? I'm gonna go back to Eastbound and Down, and I'm gonna watch. Wait, I'm gonna go back to Foot Fist Away.
Okay,
let's talk about this.
Okay, let's talk about this, and then we'll get into business.
Okay.
We never talk about fun stuff with Jesse. That's not fair.
Yeah.
You probably just want to bullshit, and we're like, talk business.
I got this whole theory about White Lotus and Walton Goggins.
Yeah, we watched White Lotus. That was a banger.
Okay. The new season?
Yeah.
I didn't like the new season.
Nobody did. Nobody liked the new season.
It was fine.
And guess what? I know all about it. Haven't watched one episode. Because you know what I do? I read all about.
You got the Cliff Notes.
I just read all about the shows that people like so I can be a part of real life because I'm in there watching How to Make Breakfast in 1420 on YouTube.
Hey, riveting.
Yeah, some old lady, she's cracking some they're fucking ostrich eggs in an old pan.
Yeah. Dude, the stuff that's on the YouTube, man. I go down those rabbit holes.
All right. And then I watch a lot of breastfeeding videos. Not gonna lie. I'm stuck on breastfeeding. You can't get off.
Free internet movies.
And you know what I learned about your algorithm?
They're already free.
You know what I learned about your algorithm?
Yeah.
You can't get there's no reset. I've got too much breastfeeding on my algorithm. I gotta reset it. You can't reset it. So I started watching dick sucking videos. And to try to get it back to zero.
Yeah.
But it did. Okay, sorry, that was too far. All right, you start, Tom.
Okay.
3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Come join us. Just search for @TomandDanLive.
The Orlando Science Center is doing their Science of Wine April 26th. You can get your tickets at osc.org.
You can indeed.
And just become a member. It's great for kids, and they constantly have awesome events there.
Now, we have a friend of the show, EJ. The science of his wine is that he is overweight and sad. And that's why he whines all the time. That's why he whines. Yeah.
Jesse Wolf's here. How you doing, Jesse?
What's up, guys?
I just wanted to be mean to EJ. He's been mean to me all day in the chat room.
So
chat room's just been wild.
Jesse Wolf, local influencer.
Can I tell you something serious?
Sure.
You came in here and I said, "Hey, Tom, it's Jesse from Odang Hummus," and then I realized, in my haste, and I've been calling you that for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, you just know the person from when it started.
Yeah.
And I felt like immediately I was disrespecting you, and I would like to apologize on behalf of T&D Media and myself, Dan Dennis.
It's like calling me Drunky the Bear.
It's kind of disrespectful.
I'm getting a full PR media apology letter here.
Yeah. I'm very sorry.
Listen. Not it's not a negative thing at all. That's a fabric of my DNA, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's the hummus guy, the homeless guy, because people heard hummus and think it's homeless. The Costco guy, Shark Tank guy. TikTok, whatever. Whatever flavor it is for the week.
There you go.
Is Shark Tank still going on right now?
Yeah, it's still clipping. I think it's like on season 17 or something crazy now.
What streaming service is it on? Or is it on a channel?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
What is a channel?
I believe it's on Tubi Extra. Plus. Tubi Extra plus.
Is that with or without ads? I forget.
The plus is with ads. Plus is without ads.
I did see a TikTok video of Mr. Wonderful on his mega yacht waving. I was like, whoa! I'm like, that's a mega yacht. Yeah. And I'm like, those mega yachts cost like $150,000 a month just to maintain.
Bad investment.
I mean, the amount of money it costs to maintain mega yachts is so
astronomical. Yeah.
To the point where you're like, dude, just rent this.
Yeah. I think it probably was.
$15,000 a week seems expensive to us, but to them it's like, oh my god.
I think he's probably renting.
Yeah, I know.
I do. I am a sucker for his wine infomercials. I will watch his wine. I really will. I'm still a QVC man at heart. And if he's talking about his, and he calls them varietals.
Yeah, varietals.
Yeah, if he talks about his wines, which are varietals, I'll watch all of that.
He's a spokesperson for a lot of the stuff he invests in, which I admire. I think that's clever of him.
Yeah.
So I like following him on social. He's actually really entertaining on social media.
And he wears that thing that wine people wear when they think they're better than you at wine. It's a necklace.
Oh, I thought it was pants.
Oh, is that the thing they?
It's like a necklace. It's like a brass.
the beaded or the I know
it's like a brass wine amulet. It's a wine amulet, and he has one. And I'm like, you think you're better at wine than me because you have the wine amulet. And what do you do with it? What does the thing do?
Nobody really knows, but it's provocative.
Yeah, but he wears it, and I'm like, oh, he is better than me at wine.
Son of a.
Did they let you interact with any of the panel back when you were on the show?
This
at
is
all?
not what you were going to talk to about. This is not where you're going to talk about.
But the question is, okay, so here's what's crazy. You don't know the sharks that are on the show that are going to be with you until the moment the doors open.
No, you have no idea who's even going to be in there.
No clue. No
That's
clue.
weird. You think they give you the heads up?
Daddy Longneck, Shannon Sharp, and Elton John.
Dude, you know what's a crazy story is my buddy, he went on and he had Ashton Kutcher. So he walks out, he's like, holy shit, it's Ashton Kutcher.
It's the
Yeah. So I'm like, it's really kind of just a surprise thing as you kind of come out.
That's a disadvantage to a person trying to sell their business.
You have no way to prepare, and they do it on purpose because it's a real investment, so like they don't want them researching you at all and going in and be like, oh, we like your product, 150 grand, we'll take it, shut up, don't say anything more, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
okay.
They're trying to keep it like very like raw and organic, but yeah, like for prep reasons, oh god, you have no idea who you're walking out to. Because like for me, I'm food, so if I came out to like one of the bigger food titans, I mean, you're gonna get hammered, so you better know your stuff more than usual, so I walked out and luckily just had, all sharks, if you will.
You know what they didn't lean into enough on that show before we switch gears, but they didn't lean into enough to the rogue product people that go in and then everybody's like, the sharks are all kind of like, I don't know, and then the guy's like, F you sharks, like I like those guys.
Yeah.
I like the F you shark guy.
Season 1 through 3 was like a lot of that, like sideways type.
I like them when they went sideways, and I like it when they're like, get security. You're like, he's killing Dr. Wonderful or whatever. That's what I want.
Jumps across the table at him.
That's way more fun.
Should we start our own version of just completely unhinged?
Like I'll tell you what makes you want to watch a show.
Yeah.
If they're about to go to break and you show me a convict jumping over a bench and strangling a judge, I'm watching the judge get strangled every time. And I love judges. And police, like, everyone's finding it. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying. If you go to commercial and you're like, and up next, he jumped the bench and tried to strangle the judge. I'm like, well, we got to wait for that.
He said he was out. Well, really, it was lights out.
Yeah, that's good. You should be on those shows.
Yeah.
You've been watching them.
In my mind every night.
Dan Abrams does one of those, the guy from On Patrol, and it's like, world's most craziest judges getting strangled. And I'm like, holy crap, it's on.
And do you know how much of an athlete you have to be to jump over a judge's desk?
Yeah.
It's like 10 foot high.
They're all arena football players. Almost all of them.
Yeah, nice.
Bobby Scipio, Herky Walls.
The ups on that
Don't
guy.
Google Bobby Scipio. He did drag a man out to a field, pistol whip it, and break his nose.
Got 11-foot broad.
Did you know that? He kidnapped a man and took him to a field.
Don't talk about it.
Well, Google it. It's a fact.
And
he was our best. He was our best receiver on the Orlando Predators. I believe he is our offensive coordinator now. So shout out to him.
It doesn't even exist.
Dude, it does exist.
Don't listen to
you
him,
don't
John.
keep up with anything. He just got the promotion in 2024. You're insane.
Should we have him as a guest judge?
They're
Yes
in
or no?
AF1. They're in AF1. Do you know sports? I know sports.
A former wife or his existing wife, I don't know, got mad because we were referring to him as Scipio's Dipio.
Because we said he had a big one. We called it Scipio's Dipio.
And
Good for him.
Someone in a suit had to tell us, stop saying Scipio's Dipio.
You're ruffling some feathers in the home life.
Anyway, so
he kidnapped a man.
I digress.
He kidnapped a man in a truck, and he took him out to a field and pistol whipped him. Shake him up a little bit.
What are your qualifications for guest judge? Huge schlong,
Pistol whipping.
slight aggression.
Yeah.
You're on. You're hired.
A little bit of anger. But he was our leading receiver.
See you Tuesday.
I think like 11 and 12. He was our guy.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Shark Tank, the America's Got Talent started legitimately, and then there was legitimate like poor performances that would get X'd out, right? But throughout the years, like the producers, like I think the softening of our society that couldn't handle people really getting rejected.
I would have been dying to say that, haven't you, Rogan?
What else is it? They can't handle it.
Haven't you? The softening of society.
I am following the money.
Jamie, pull up what a dog used to look like and pull up what dogs look like now.
Look, listen, if you could make money whipping a poor tiny girl that sang poorly, that was legitimate, like the networks would do it. They don't care.
Like the William Hungs, American Idol.
Yeah, all they care about is the money. But so following the money tells me that they have to fake them now because people don't like the real meanness or whatever. Or a gentleman's guide. America's Got Talent has to, fake all the poor performances now, and they're all actors.
Yeah, and like that was part of the suspense because just like any good karaoke bar, it's a wild shootout, man. Everyone that gets up there, is it going to be good or are we going to brutal?
That's what makes it good.
Yeah, that's the suspense because like when they wow you, you're like, whoa, dude, where'd that come from?
But obviously they determine like this is the way we're going to do it, and they're still a successful show that makes millions and millions of dollars. But going back to Shark Tank. Do you think after this many years, like because the bad ones are the entertaining ones? A lot of times, like a bad idea, something like. Do you think behind the scenes, I think you're far enough removed, you could say the truth.
Yeah.
Where
it's been a couple of years.
Where you think they were like, okay, we won't. This is a legitimate business, but we just paid this actor to get an LLC. It's pretty cheap, and then like put together a loose, and then to go pitch an idea, but he's a yokel, and people make fun of him. And we told him like, hey, like really ham it up, and be this character.
Well,
you think they're faking it sometimes?
No, because I mean, again, I think the early seasons of Shark Tank, like 1 through 3, like I remember there was a guy that was like, I figured out how to harness hurricanes in the ocean to like make gold, and everyone's like,
hold on, I'm listening. Let this man speak.
As was everybody watching and the judges.
I've always wanted to do that, like to be like a king or somebody, and like some crazy person's yelling the wildest thing ever, and you're like, everyone quiet down, let the man have the floor.
A hurricane of gold.
You could be the hurricane of gold, dude. That's great. I'm gonna cast you in my movie.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's what it's called, Hurricane of Gold.
Hurricane of Gold. Why would that actually be a Netflix like banger? I think.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Righteous Gemstones.
So they threw a couple wackanuts in there, some William Hungs.
They back in the day, Shark Tank they were worried about TV. They weren't necessarily worried about the end deal. They were like, we want good TV, good or bad. And like when we went on, that was verbatim like what they were saying as we were like auditioning and going through like the steps.
The TV mattered, the deals are secondary.
Yeah, basically. They're like, we want it to be fruitful, like it'd be great because that's just good, for the TV show to keep going. But they go, the Sharks are worried about the actual deal. We're worried about the actual television. So like the products they put on, like that's why you don't see a lot of the same type of products on there like more than once, right? The people, they go from like families to back in the day, they had some characters, to young, like I was a college kid, for instance, to, old people, whatever. And
Did I ever tell you my idea that is stolen from Candid Camera?
No, but
I'm being serious.
You have the floor.
Yeah. So
don't tell them about toilet camera.
So we put a camera in every toilet. No. So I thought it would be funny if like Max, Hulu, somebody picked up and did a version of Shark Tank, but did it for like all of the products you can't show on Shark Tank.
Oh, that would be rad.
Like all of
Shark
the,
Tank After Dark.
I'm not saying all dildos because I know that's not it. Then you're missing the point. Then take my idea and flush it down the giant toilet.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about just
stuff they can't
just
show
stuff you can't do because there's so
network.
much.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff you can't do on network. And I was like, if Max got a hold of that and you got like, better, spicier investors, get a Snoop Dogg on there so he can say curse words. Get some rich people that are outlandish and talk crazy, and then get the products to be spicier. And I'm telling you, it's going to be 10 times more popular than Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I'm on the show, right? I was on there for like 4 hours, like filming.
God, 4 hours.
4 hours, and you're just standing there under those lights. It's a full-blown set.
Yeah.
The one whole side's nothing but cameras. I mean, like 30 cameras stacked on top of each other.
That's too many cameras.
Oh,
Tom only let me buy 6.
Yeah.
I wanted 30. That was on
30.
my original docket. I was like, we need 30 cameras. Tom's like, what do you think you are, Shark Tank?
You take 6 and rotate them to the porta potties. Yeah, so like you're on there, you're filming, and like they don't stop it. It's a real meeting. When you walk out those doors, it's just a real meeting. They record the whole thing. Yeah, so you're out there for 4 hours the entire time. So like the stuff that like got cut was wild. Like at one point you got like Cuban calling Kevin like a curse words.
Oh, Mr. Wonderful's helicopter.
And they didn't put that in the show?
No, so like I'm one of the only episodes I think where like Cuban's like, this black bean hummus is the shit, and they bleeped it, right?
Okay.
That's the only time I've really ever seen him really cuss or anyone cuss. But during the filming, I mean, they're going back and forth with each other, calling each other, F heads and this and that.
Yeah,
like,
I want him to be like low key passive aggressive racist to each other. And people are like, oh my god, that's how they talk to each other.
Yeah, it's like it got pretty like heated there for a little bit, because like.
And it wasn't for the show. You think it was like actually legitimately they were talking to each other that way?
Yeah, the shark. It's funny because the sharks, for the most part, I don't think they're necessarily there for the show. I think they just like kind of make the deal fun and colorful.
Yeah.
And they work with the, and whatever comes of it, because like they're all like pretty colorful people individually.
Yeah, and they all have infinite money that they don't need any sort of more recognition or any sort of popularity. And they want their business deals, but they're aware of entertainment.
Yeah.
They're all entertaining people.
Yeah.
So
And we want to talk White Lotus.
and
we want to talk.
Speaking of entertainment,
but before we go to that, I have to say something because I would feel upset if I didn't say this. I always got very upset when everybody would bag on who's the blonde lady that looks like a chicken?
Barbara Cochran.
Barbara.
Yeah.
For being a QVC person, and they would always look at her like, you don't belong here.
Oh, that was Lori. Lori's the QVC.
Oh, the QVC lady then. They always looked at her like she wasn't, she didn't belong there.
Didn't they recently file for bankruptcy, QVC?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
I saw someone...
Might have been HS. One of them did, yeah. Yeah, that's a crazy topic, like what's happening, because like TikTok's like wiping out QVC HSN.
Yeah, because...
With TikTok Shop.
And I've seen
TikTok Shop. Can I work for TikTok Shop?
You absolutely can.
Yeah, because it's just selling products to your own listeners, and then getting a portion of it.
Yeah, and
everybody's realized like, hey, this is a cheap marketing because they only get paid for what they sell. We don't, like that's. I mean, I remember when we ever get this every once in a while, but a lot more at the beginning. Like our advertisers sometimes would come to us and be like, hey, you'll promote my product and I'll just give you a portion of the sales.
Yeah.
They moved it all to PA. So the QVC closed the HSN location in Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's funny. We actually had the company I'm in right now, we did QVC in like November. We did and I had a chance to do it years ago with Shark Tank. Odang, and with the 11th hour we pulled out of it just because we had like so much going on. So then I finally got to like kind of live my QVC dream here, if you will, in like November, and that was pretty wild to see how like it all unfolds and how it works and how it operates, the whole 9 yards.
I'm very jealous that you got to see that because I love QVC so much.
Yeah, it's iconic, right? I mean, like we all grew up with it,
It was entertainment for me, still is. And it is waning because it's harder to find.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's still thriving. Like there's still that older audience that buys from it like crazy.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, the younger generation, millennial and lower, they're really flocking to this TikTok Shop kind of platform. Which is individual QVC, really.
It's interesting, too. You would think that TikTok would have less, I don't know, brand confidence, for lack of a better term, that you would probably know better. How are companies like TikTok that are kind of propped up by being like, hey, we're stealing your information, Chinese, ooga booga. Yeah. How is that, or are new consumers in a younger generation not concerned about that?
Yeah, it's funny because have you guys seen with all the tariffs?
Because I used to be super concerned, right? Oh, don't let my stuff out. Don't let my stuff out. Don't let this out.
It's out on the internet.
It seems like, no, I know, but it seems like younger people are like,
they don't care.
Is that a Chinese spy website? Oh, is that $5 cheaper? Let me order it. Like, I don't care.
I just think like we just had a full conversation about the other day about like just motivation of the younger generation right now, period. And it's like, us, coming out of high school and going to college and all that jazz. What did you want to do, right? Get the job, buy the house. That was success, right?
Yeah.
That was, and you got to do it by certain ages. I think the younger generation is just like, Yeah, no, houses are 3 times like what they should be. The economy's bananas. I'm not working for this company anymore 50 hours a week. I can make money on the internet. What they don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I think like it comes down to like, oh, you're gonna steal my data. What are you gonna get, right? Like, you know, I don't, you know, the moment I don't have anything, like screw off.
Yeah,
you know?
it's also digital, and so if you steal it, they know who stole it.
Yeah.
And it's insured, they'll give it back to me. It's like credit card. People are always worried about their credit. Like, was never worried about someone stealing my credit card because every time I did have fraudulent charges, I get reimbursed.
We had one yesterday.
And then,
2 days ago.
and so I was like never out
Bad. It was
anything.
really
So
bad.
then I was like, well, who cares? I'm not like protecting my credit card
Yeah.
number. Like that's an old school thing.
And it goes back to like debit cards. Like, yeah, don't let someone get your debit card because they could drain your account or your checking number or whatever. But yeah, credit cards, that's literally half the reason you use a credit card is to protect you against things like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's the younger generation. And it's funny because we were in deep talk about this the other day. I'm like, they're not wrong, right? Because like we grew up kind of this whole like, you know, live to work, you know, kind of environment.
Yeah.
And then we're watching our parents get older and retire.
Not
and
me,
stuff.
brother. I was living to ride. You not see my cane, my beard, and my longer hair?
I mean, you are a hellion on your Honda.
My tiny little scooter.
Yeah.
And it seems like as our society, and honestly, like, we are 2 generations removed from a world war, right? Like
Yeah,
our grandparents,
yeah.
like my both my grandfathers fought in a world war.
Yeah.
That's a completely different world that
Yeah.
they grew up in.
Yeah.
And just
I mean, your sons are fighting in a Roblox world war. It's a Roblox world war. That's hard to say.
Roblox World War.
And then, so we could all agree that at least in the United States, and not for everybody, but for a lot of us, and I'm guessing a lot of people listening to this, life is pretty comfortable. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. Like, you may have a harder job, but I'm saying, like, we still have air conditioning. We have cars that don't.
Oh, there are crazy or bad things that we could complain about. For
Yeah.
sure.
Remember when planes were so loud you couldn't even talk when they flew over?
Right, I missed that. I missed that.
It's like you had to stop talking.
And what I'll say, you know, it's kind of funny because, again, I think there's a real definitive line drawn in, like, generations right now where, like, our parents and beyond and our grandparents, you know, they're the ones that were able to buy houses for, like, you know, $18 and, you know, cars for, you know, it was all, like.
What, an $18 house? That sounds like a dump.
No, back then it was a nice place, you know. And then we were the generation that got, you know, boned coming out of college for 2008 and then just kind of been.
Yeah,
but, like, we never gave up that mentality of, like, you know, like, you could be struggling right now still, but, like, we're still going to show up to work. We're going to grind through it. We're going to figure out a way, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, we just kind of keep
We were
at
in
it.
prison at work.
Yeah, you know,
I'm
yeah,
peak
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy. At 48, I am
Yeah.
peak that guy.
Yeah,
like, I never got anything other than that. Maybe a little bit now because we own our own business
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
But I am that guy.
Yeah, 100,
And,
but,
and it's
but
like, yeah, show up here and put in your 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
then we'll
Yeah.
let you go.
Grind it out and die.
And you have no.
that's it. Yeah, grind it out and die.
You cannot determine your schedule. That's insane.
Yeah.
They determine your schedule.
Yeah, this isn't how life works. But it's funny because that younger generation's like, okay, we're not gonna grind it out, we're not gonna die. We're just gonna go do our own thing, and like the rest of you can, you know, suck it. Basically.
But we look at that,
And
and us
that's why-
grinders look at that, us death grinders, which that's what I call it.
I like that. Death
We
grinders.
look at you guys and we're like, you lazy. Get to work. You got to grind yourself to death.
Yeah.
But and it's funny because this is a thing in our generation too, is we get mad that 16-year-olds aren't getting their buying a car and getting their license and stuff. I'm like, they don't need to. They're gonna buy a, you know how expensive a car is nowadays.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're gonna buy
touche, right.
and get insurance and stuff like. So now you have. Let's just say, you know, a $500 payment with a car and insurance. That's cheap too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and
I was
then
gonna say,
and then
you're going
maintenance
lowball.
and then maintenance a month. But let's say even lowball, $500 a month. And then the person's like, well, like a lot of the communication I have is online, and I see these people online or keep up with whatever. I'm not going to that many places. I'll Uber or whatever. I'm saving money by not getting a car, and I'm not hindering
I have
at all.
friends now that have given up their cars.
So
Like,
then-
I have friends now that are going the opposite direction where they had cars and they're like, well, now I work from home. I'm gonna get rid of one
Well,
car.
and
Nick
I've seen.
Swartzen said he doesn't have a car. He
Oh,
was just
really?
yeah,
No
yeah,
shit.
Yeah,
he got rid of his car.
Well, and again, we didn't have Uber growing up, right? Like at 16
Yeah,
or
yeah.
25 or whatever
Yeah,
it
it
is. Now, if they really need to get somewhere, you can Uber, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
that's not crazy.
Yeah, we couldn't take a taxi back. That was insane. you know how insane it would be?
Yeah, there were taxis going to Longwood or
no,
whatever.
only kids that would take taxis were in weird movies where they would show up at like rich people. They're orphans. They show up at rich people's houses, and that's their new home.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean?
Are you talking about Will Smith?
I don't know. Maybe Will Smith,
Fresh
Richie
Prince
Rich.
of Bel-Air.
I was thinking more Richie Rich.
Okay, fair enough.
We had two choices.
Brewster's Millions.
It was drive drunk or sleep in your car.
Yeah.
And then but that was it. We were like, I'm making it.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, so going back to this generation, and so I feel like the time is valued a lot more.
Yeah.
And because it is, you start looking at it, and that is the truth. Like, once I got older, I saw how much time and your own free time and doing what you want, how valuable that is. Even to the point where I was thinking the other day, like, I wonder if the job of teacher will get more popular as time goes on, because my buddy,
because of summer,
my buddy Dre and Leanne, two friends I grew up in Miami, right? They're both teachers, and they both, obviously teachers don't get paid as much as they should, but what they do have is the entire summer's off, and they have 2 weeks in the winter, a week off spring break, and then a week off their Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. And they use that time to, and they've used it the whole time with their family to do their family vacations the whole summer. You know, they're not going to Europe, but they're hitting all, and and I'm looking at that, I'm like, the value of this life that I'm looking at is a $500,000 to $800,000 life. In my mind, I'm like, to be able to grow up with your kids the entire, spend every summer and all these memories.
Like, it does take a special person to do it.
But I'm saying,
I don't think anybody can just like say, well, just because of the offering of the free time, teacher's good for me. I think it takes a special person to do it.
You need
fair enough. But
of course, I'm just saying, you start looking at something. Not that that's an end all be all,
but that's why my mom loved
valuable.
Well, why do you think my mom stayed a teacher for an entire? I mean, my mom could have obviously gotten other jobs.
Yeah.
But she loved the freedom that she got. Dad was more the major breadwinner, right?
Yep.
So mom would get not a good salary, but she would get amazing time off and flexibility.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, that younger generation, and this is where we were talking about the other day, like, they're onto something, because we should consider our time a lot more in the choices we make, because it's the only thing money cannot buy, right?
Yeah.
I heard, dude, do you guys know Jesse Itzler by chance?
Yes.
So he's married to Sarah Blakely, who founded Spanx, and he founded like Coca Vita water, and some big brands like that. So they're both billionaires, like, right for themselves, and he's great to follow because he's a grinder. The dude's like a real high-performance grinder. And as he's gotten older, he's kind of figured out a way to kind of crack the code, to kind of do what you want, go hard, and do, like, live life to the fullest, but also still prioritize family, friends, etc. And he just figured out a way how to blend both, right? And you can't do that at a normal 9 to 5, and that's kind of his thing. And he did this podcast, man, that, like, rocked my world. Do your guys' parents both live local?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my parents are dead, Jesse.
Okay.
His parents are dead. My mom's right down
they're
the
local.
street.
I mean, they're in my wife's office right now. I mean, I can literally throw a baseball to them. I can throw a baseball, hit them, and knock them on the floor.
Okay. Sorry, Dan.
You're fine.
So he did this thing with this guy where he was like, your parents still around? He goes, yeah. He goes, where they live, New York. He goes, how often do you see him? He goes, once a year. He goes, how old are they? 65. He goes, all right, so you see them once a year, they're 65. Let's say they live to be 75, right? Average, kind of age. He goes, okay. He goes, so you're going to see them 10 more times before they die.
Yeah.
And like, to me, it kind of stops to check you. Like, how many times do we tell our friends, I'll get beers with you next week, and then it turns into 6 months.
But I love doing that.
Yeah.
I will say it does feel so good. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, man, let's get together. And the best way to do it? You go, let's let the ladies plan it out.
Yeah.
And then you never do it.
Never happens.
Well,
and then I blame Andrea.
Yeah. Out like cold.
It's part of, and it's weird what we're going to transition to with AI and what jobs are even going to be around. But,
I'm going to become Batman.
I am Batman.
Yeah, you can be anybody you want.
The mentality used to be you work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And then whatever that salary is what the salary is. And then you have your expenses and then you save the rest until you die. And then you give your kids all the money to waste it. Or whatever it's like. And
you leave them their inheritance of the house and your stuff and they sell it all.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I already told Andrea I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Maisie's already proven herself capable. I'm out. out. I'm spending all my stuff.
That's literally my dad's motto, and it's kind of funny because we as siblings, I'm one of 6, the oldest. We say the same thing. I'm like, Dad, live your life, man. Like you don't.
Yeah,
but they don't because
they haven't seen me.
Yeah,
wait till you see
no,
me.
my dad definitely is.
Oh, yeah.
Scott's full ride.
Do it, Scott.
But he's probably not gonna get to 0.
No,
you see what I'm saying? Like
no.
you know, but that's the thing. Like
I love a challenge. Hold my beer.
But I think it's against what you want to like. You never want and who can plan their death that close, but whatever. So like. But most people like have like a bunch of money or property when they die or whatever, they leave it, and then it's like it's weird that we accumulate all this stuff and you can't take it with you.
Yeah.
And it's like, so could I have not worked as much and enjoyed other?
Bro, bingo.
You know, and then it's like, what could I have done differently?
So that's kind of where my dad's at, which is where we're on this subject because he's kind of going through that, like winding down in his career. He's got a couple years left. And, I mean, he lives in, up in Georgia. So, like, for $300,000, you could buy literally like the White House, back 10 years ago. So he's got, a huge house and cars and all this fun stuff. And he's kind of like, well, everyone's left. Like, we're empty nesters and I have all this stuff. There's, you guys aren't around to help, day to day take care of it. And he kind of goes, did I work too hard? Could I have, like, we could have had a great life with a 3-2 and, blah, blah, blah. And I would have had more free time. And he kind of was like, reflecting back, like, shit. Did I dedicate too much time to that grind and die kind of thing,
But it's easy to look in retrospect.
Of course.
A lot of stuff, and then it's like, it is what it is, and your life is what your life is. You start thinking about microanalyzing everything. Listen, believe me, even if you keep telling yourself, which I did with my kids, I was like, everybody says, like, enjoy it while it lasts, soak it in, do as much as you can. And I spent, the past 10 years, every weekend, every day, playing with my sons or whatever. And then I got to here, I'm like, man, I could have done more. Because you always could.
Yeah, touche.
And so it,
especially if you have that type of personality, right?
Yeah.
It's like trying to fit a different type of personality into like how maybe we are.
Yeah.
Like you can appreciate it. You're not going to appreciate it maybe like those people are because I feel like their personality is more suited for that. Of course, you're forever going to think you are forever going to think you slighted your sons.
Yeah.
Forever.
Because,
and I probably will too because
we
are always like more.
Because, you look back and you're like, I could have skipped this event. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do work. I didn't have to do this many shows. I could have,
we didn't have to record with EJ last Thursday. That was a waste of time.
So I got a couple $100,000 less in my bank account. Who cares? I'm going to die with, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't have the money.
I was like,
I've made poor choices.
I'm very successful.
For a second.
I have hundreds of dollars in my bank account.
$12,000.
I haven't seen my personal bank account in a long time.
Oh, I saw mine.
Anyway.
Well, that's like a White Lotus. I don't know. Well,
yeah.
So
this is what he wanted to talk about.
You're good at this.
And a real pro will slide it in there. A real pro will take control of the conversation.
She gets the $5 million, right? And it's injected in her bank account.
Yeah.
She had $12,000 in there before, and everyone's like, golly, that's relatable. You know what I mean? Like, we're all rolling around on a couple $100. You know what I mean?
Can I tell you something?
Please.
I like those buck teeth.
Dude, I'm into it. Yes.
I'm into it.
I'm into it, too.
I'm into it. I don't know why I'm into it.
She's spectacular.
I like it.
She's a cutie.
I like it.
By the way, if $5 million pops into my bank account one day, Wachovia is going to call me. And they're going to be like, hey, this is a mistake, and also the FBI has been contacted. Because now it's a digital. The FBI gets contacted over a certain amount of dollars, magically appears in your account.
That's where you pull. What was the guy's name? Greg that's on. What was the husband that ran away with the money of the other lady?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you pull a Greg and you transfer that to the Swedish Wachovia and off to Thailand.
You guys know that I live my life like in the evenings
at a quarter mile at a time.
Well, I live my life in the evenings. I always pretend that I have like an office somewhere in a very exotic area of Bangkok, and I'm like wearing like fluey robes or something. And I always have like a little drink or something.
I like that.
And I always have. And my son's always coming to try and track me down.
So
find out if I killed his real dad
or not.
Real quick, White Lotus, new season. I did not like it as much as the previous seasons.
And you're a Walton Goggins man.
Yeah, here's the problem. Walton Goggins played it straight. he's a great actor.
Yeah, he gave you
but-
Walton.
Yeah, he just gave it to me. Whatever character I
You
forgot
wanted
his
Baby
name.
Billy.
Baby Billy.
Yeah, I wanted principals. I wanted Baby Billy.
You wanted like, why are these people in Thailand so goddamn little? Why is everybody so tiny around here? So many little tiny acorn peckers everywhere. Hey, look at your uncle when he's talking to you with his pecker out.
Baby Billy.
And it
Now
made
come over here and suck an old man toes.
But it made me sad for him, for Walton Goggins, because he must feel that and get that a lot, where you play a character so beloved and everybody loves so much that you're almost typecast into like, we want more Billy. We don't want your just brilliant performance.
That's the James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
And then he plays a gay hitman in a movie, and it was like, and they were like, he's playing a gay hitman, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, that's Tony Soprano. And they're like, no, he's a homosexual hitman in here. And I was like, I guess, but I don't know. He looks like Tony Soprano to me.
If that's where we're going to this. Yeah, it's interesting how some people get stuck in that typecast and others have like managed to break out. You know what I mean? Matthew McConaughey, he like gets typecasted pretty much the same guy every movie, but every once in a while he'll get squirrely.
He's becoming Dallas Buyers Club as he gets skinnier.
Yeah.
He needed to go fatter.
Now that was a great example of him breaking away from that, because that was a great movie.
It was a great movie
for him as a role.
You don't have to watch that before me and my wife lay down to make love.
How's that?
Just the opening scene in the barn. I have to watch that barn scene to get things going.
get it up the old flagpole.
Walton Goggins should take a page out of Danny McBride's book, because Danny McBride's been playing Kenny Powers since Foot Fist Way, and then now it's just religious Kenny Powers.
It's Fred Simmons, really. Fred Simmons is the original character.
You're right. He's been riding Fred Simmons. I mean, because every character he plays is that. Now, it's probably because it's somewhere like exaggerated of his own personality or whatever.
Yeah.
But the Walton Goggins, like in White Lotus, was none of that.
Yeah.
It was no Baby Billy at all.
And
And that's why I didn't like it.
What was the the big
And the weirdo brother thing.
Well,
like,
that was and then the brothers have sex. It's two brothers, they're brothers, and then they have sex together.
No.
Just a
I don't
handy.
want to ruin it.
I want to ruin it.
No.
Well, anyway, like he's a giving boy.
Yeah.
I'm a people pleaser, right? Isn't that the
Yeah,
line?
basically, yeah.
Yeah, but that was it was like, this is not ever gonna happen in real life.
I don't know. Kanye West.
Did you see 50 Cent's post about that the other day?
About Kanye West?
That was Cousins.
Was it Cousins?
Yeah.
Well, with Kanye, he said that he watched porno and did sexual acts with his cousin until the age of 14.
Okay. I didn't get that news update, but I caught a little wind of it on the old formerly known Twitter account. X.
Yeah. So
it does change how Through the Wire sounds to me now.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
You know, that's another person like Kanye, man, like unbelievably talented artist, but like he's almost like Vincent Van Gogh type artist. You know what I mean? Like so out there, but that's how he creates his incredible craft. You know what I mean?
But he keeps doing more and more crazy things to the point where it's devaluing everything. So it's like, oh, he's wearing a Ku Klux Klan outfit, and then people are like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because he's got another swastika shirt out. It's like, it doesn't matter. Oh, this cousin thing, that one is like, whoa. But now I'm back to nothing.
Well, I always feel like he's gotten so desperate for claiming things that are crazy that he's going to have to think of something crazier than the cousin thing, which could have been real.
But the cousin thing is a sad, like
very sad.
A molestation. I think they're both the same age or whatever, but it's a sad.
Well, it's a misunderstanding, and there's something there that needed to be talked about.
But also horrible, like a bad situation to go through. And
That's
so
a hard way of growing up.
Exactly.
Now you're just telling us your personal traumas. So he's running out of things.
But he's doing it as if it's like, he's like, which one is your favorite tweet? And then he'll do this one. That's what he says. He'll say that. Then he'll do this. He launches them out there, and he's like, ha, look at that one. I got my cousin. What do you think?
Let's test drive that one out.
Can anybody beat getting their cousin? Anyone?
It's like Theo Vaughn. Half the stuff that comes out of him, you're like, is that real, or is he just, Theo Vaughning that thing right
Has anyone ever told Theo Vaughn that naturally he has the haircut of Captain Planet? Have you ever noticed that? I Googled this one time.
It's pretty amazing that Theo Vaughn got.
He's huge, dude.
He's talented and he's funny. And believe me, I've laughed at Theo Vaughn.
Nobody has ever said that. I think I'm the first person to say that.
Okay, that's a statement. He should dress as Captain America. You're absolutely
Captain
right.
Planet. Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. Wrong America. Wrong Captain.
And also, like, he's doing an exaggerated Theo Vaughn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we had him in the studio before he was doing he was just around at the Improv, and he wasn't doing the Vaughn as much. So it's like, this is something.
It's like a Larry the Cable Guy kind of situation.
It's like Louisiana hillbilly old dad calling yourself the Rat King.
Yeah.
You know, like he's got that, like, it's almost like a hillbilly southerny kind of the thing going. Yeah,
but
it's cool.
But
I respect it.
He blew up so crazy, and it was the social media clips.
Oh,
that,
dude.
You know.
And I would also throw in there that he's a decently good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's attractive.
Yeah, he's super funny.
Yeah, and he is very funny, but he's very hit or miss. Some people are like, I hate it, just like anything else.
So, Jesse, we got, 9 minutes. Let's talk business. So,
that's what we just talked about.
Let's get down to it.
What have you seen recently that you're like, that's a good idea?
A product we can invest in and make a little money.
In the food world, does that pop up, or have you been so much into it you're like you enjoy business outside of that?
No, it's funny. I love business in general, in all kind of categories. So as much as you try to shut it down, it's like anything else. Like when you're into it as a hobby or whatever, it's always there. I'll tell you what I'm seeing right now. It's coming on pretty quick, and I really don't know how to digest it. So back when I first got into food, so like, you're talking the hummus days, right? This is 2012. Your biggest threat, right, as a competition was another major hummus company. Then that kind of rolled into major hummus company in the grocery store, right? So that with their private label products, for instance, like Publix has a private label hummus. So like now we're competing with, Sabra, and now we're competing with Publix, right? And they both
Wise Green.
Yeah, exactly. Now, which is really interesting, is influencers have gone from repping products, right? Like, you'd pay them to promote your products, to where they went, we're just going to make products ourselves. And at first, you would get like, I don't know, what's a big one that someone had? Like
Feastables.
Even earlier than that, let's go to Clooney's Tres Amigos, right? Like,
Oh, nice.
he was early days of kind of like celebrity, build a real brand.
Yeah.
I'll
just buy this tequila distillery.
Yeah.
and
it was good tequila.
And that's the important part. It was good. He actually cared about the product.
Yep.
It was a real story there.
And he Clooney'd the price because I'm sure you can get tequila. Yeah, I love that tequila, but I'm positive that my tequila friends, because I've been on so many tequila tastings that they'll say, you can get this one. But it was a great tequila.
And you could feel it. It was a real brand.
Yeah, it was real.
It wasn't just slapping a name on it, calling it a day. Now, everybody and their brother, as far as influencer celebrity is going, are hard launching brands. Left and frickin' right. And a lot of it's in the food space because it's a good category to be in to some degree. But what it's doing is it's just drowning, your options out there. And a lot of it's, I call it cash grab, right? So they're going to a co-packer, they're finding a mediocre product, they're trying to zhuzh it up, they slap the name on it, and they throw it out there. And you're
we
seeing
need to do this.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, my mic was on.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
It's too late.
And introducing Tom and Dan Popcorn.
We need to do this with Jesse.
Now, see, that'd be fun. Yeah.
But it is the Mr. Beast. It's we make a joke back when we partnered with a craft beer company, Red Cypress, and we're like the Tom and Dan beer. Everyone's like, "Whoa, you got your own beer?" I mean, it's not that impressive. They're brewing beer all the time with new labels.
Yeah,
and there's like,
it's hard for people to understand that, and I tell them that I'm like, it was impressive then.
Yeah,
it was.
It was new.
It's not really that impressive now,
years,
and that's not to say that we don't think it. It's still impressive, but you see what I'm saying.
No, but to your point, that's exactly what happened. Is it's not cool as it's not as unique anymore because everybody's doing it, right? And I mean, like yesterday, Khloe Kardashian, Jesus, another Kardashian was selling another bullshit product. She drops a popcorn brand, right? And it's protein popcorn. Protein popcorn's been out. Her protein popcorn only has like, I don't know, 7 or 8 grams of protein per serving. It's not that much.
Yeah.
Again, it's just another, crowded item now that they're going to put into grocery stores, clog up the shelves. So, what sucks is you've got a lot of really good, up and coming entrepreneurs that make great products that are fighting for space, and they're going to get mowed over because of this celebrity or this big influencer.
They get their own personal marketing power.
Yeah, and then like
well, they are a company, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
more or less, you know. I mean, and you're seeing like in the beverage space, it's nuts, right? With like, you know, Logan Paul and Prime and those guys. That was an interesting play because I
Happy Dad, that's one, right?
Yeah, Happy Dad's actually killing it. Happy Dad was kind of earlier. You know, I'll give Happy Dad their due credit for sure. Like they came in, they challenged that kind of white claw space, if you will. And they serviced a group that wasn't being serviced, right?
Yeah.
Which I thought was fascinating. You know, where like the white claws kind of tended to be a little more like female or, you know, specified.
We tried to do like beer for babies for a little while. It just wasn't.
Why is that kind of awesome? Actually,
yeah, little tiny little cans,
baby beers.
So, yeah, and the cans are very soft, so they can crush them on their head.
That's kind of rad, actually.
Yeah. So where's the pendulum going to swing back to with it? Because you're right. As everybody, once every candy bar is some sort of influencer.
It's Logan Paul. It's Mr. Beast. It's unspeakable.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll give you a great example. Tara Bosch created a product called Smart Sweets, right? It's a sugar-free, you know, gummy, if you will. Smart Sweets blew
I bet
up.
that gives you the fart.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's a natural diuretic if you eat
all
too many of those.
sugar-free gummy bears will blow your beehole out.
So, you know, she kind of like revolutionized that space. Oh, the imitation that's come through in the last like 3 to 5 years is unbelievable. And there's like one called Joyride. It's some big, you know, influencer that dropped a product. Very similar. Now, what's good is it brings competition to some degree where it's like Smart Sweets has to make a better tasting product to compete with Joyride, right? So there's innovation in that sense. But when you get 30 new influencers all dropping the same type of product, it's just, and half of them are coming out of the same factory.
And they'll just dump it once it stops making money. Like, they don't have any longevity. They're not going to be reinventing their product to compete. They're going to be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Right.
And along the way, you just killed probably 6 or 7 other brands that were really fighting and caring to do it, right? That's scary. And I think I just broke.
You know what? You can get the hell out of here.
I don't know what the pendulum this one looks like yet. To be honest with you, I have no idea because I don't know like what the next wave would be. But I think it's going to be kind of like a little bit of a .com bubble to some degree, where like a lot of the brands are just going to kind of dry up overnight and kind of quit when they realize how expensive and hard and, you know, et cetera it is. But it's definitely going to be a rough go at it. You know, so you really. In our team, we're focusing on the niches, right? Like, you know, going down the rabbit holes of niches. And really
niches be crazy, dog.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Niches be crazy.
Niches get stitches.
Oh my God, there was a Bob's Burger joke that it blew me off the couch yesterday. Linda Belcher's talking to all these other people that are in a knitting class, and she goes, "What up, my knitters?" and I paused it, and I looked at Andrea, and I go, "This is second season. You can't do this now." I was like, "How do you can't do knitters?" Right?
That's funny.
It's a very funny
you can.
joke.
I think that's.
I feel like someone needs to knit that for a grandma in a nursing home. You know, like just like that's a sick brand. Actually,
we could mass produce them.
Your grandma's caretaker's not gonna find it.
Gammy absolutely would love that shirt.
Don't turn around the wheelchair.
Jesse, thanks so much for coming by. You can come by anytime and talk just with anything.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
But what if he doesn't want to?
That's true. That's why.
Now, you guys know, you text me, I'm like, I'm there. It doesn't matter.
We appreciate you, man.
Yeah. And only because you live close. If this is a little pain in the ass, you'd be like, I got things to do. You know?
There's 2 stop signs. I can't make it.
Again, throw out your TikTok.
Real Jesse Wolf.
Yep. Follow him on TikTok, Real Jesse Wolf.
Not the imitation one, the real one.
Go for the real stuff.
Yeah.
Better for you. Less sugar.
Low sugar, Jesse.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on Monday.
Awesome. Good job, buddy.
Thank you, dude.
Let me see if that is.
That's always funny. That's Friday 1 and 2.
Friday 1 and 2.
That'll air Friday.
Thank you, Jesse. That was good, dude.
Yeah.
Are we done recording, or are we coming back and doing?
Well, we got Thursday. We have to do Thursday too.
Thursday too.
Yeah. Which we'll just do voicemails.
Yep. That's right.
And then
425.
Everything else been good?
Yeah. Just been busy.
Too busy.
We're
putting in. This is our new. Well, it's down here. We're going PC on OBS because I can't take it anymore. So those are all of our face cam pros. I'm about to they're over in the corner. They're all balled up. So we're gonna have all better, 4K, 60 frames a second type stuff,
Well,
and then
because people are consuming shit on social media. It's funny, like people
just invest in it a little bit, because all of our other stuff is so tried and true. We don't need any more audio equipment.
Yeah. The people that consume our entirety of our podcasts, I mean, those are, business-wise, the most valuable customer, because now it's like it seems like, and I do this, where it's like, oh, I follow this, I listen to this podcast. Do you, or you just follow the clips that they got? I find myself a Rogan, like I'll see a Rogan interview, like, oh, you interviewed this. I won't go and listen to a 3-hour interview.
Yeah.
I'll just little snippets of the interview on social media.
It's funny because I love Rogan, actually, because he's just got the craziest guests on at all times. And I do the same thing. I'm like, I don't have a consistent 2 to 3 hours to sit there. But I love the little clips, man. It's just, you hit them.
And they're just getting, and so then it's like, okay, well, that's how people are consuming content. And then they're still, even though their own listeners, they'll still come to events and stuff, but they're like, I'm just consuming it through social media. So,
all right, guys, we'll be right back. It's fun when we have our friends in. We get to sit here and just chop it up and shoot the shit with our friends. It's hard to have private conversations. You get to hear about.
Yeah, I like talking to Jesse.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a really good dude.
I like.
You like larger men. You've always been more of a bear man.
I have, yeah, and businessmen.
You've always loved businessmen.
Oh yeah.
You know who broke your heart? Phil Rollins when he left town.
No. That in fact, I had
good businessman.
Nothing against him.
Oh no, me neither. But just when he left, you didn't get to bounce ideas off of him.
I was kind of sad that.
I was sad when he left.
I didn't get to hang out with him for one more beer.
We could probably do that eventually. I think there'll be a time when we get him back in here and talk about those days. I do believe that. And I do believe his son, this is a warm-up again, just got married, I think. John Rollins just got married.
Really?
Congratulations, John. We love you, buddy. One of the people that I know you and I worked with him. He was our guy. Like, no John Rollins, man. We didn't. No John Rollins, you guys wouldn't have gotten any Tom and Dan scarves. He pulled that off single-handedly by putting the order through because he was the merchandise director for Orlando City. He had no business being the merchandise director. It's too big of a job for him. He even said that. But they put him in charge. Nobody knew. We didn't know.
When you see the beginning of a company, it's funny because you have a whole different perspective.
Yeah. Well, nobody knew. Nobody knew how big that was going to be. And Orlando City started selling so much shit that he's like, I can't handle this. So they had to get like 8 more people in there.
Well, we've seen their transition from USL Pro and what that means to MLS to fucking getting Kaká. You know, it's like it happened fast.
What are we doing now?
Just a Thursday 2.
Thursday 2, 22 minutes.
Let's just knock it out. We'll do some voicemail. You said you had some emails?
Yeah. Bring us back, please. Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some emails.
All right, emails. Let me get these. I got a bunch of emails. Let's go with this guy sent me a bunch of pictures of his dog.
And if you want to send us an email, show@tomanddan.com, tom@tomanddan.com.
Yeah, BDM John sent me a picture of his dog, and I love dogs, so I printed them out. If you want to send me a picture of your dog, I will print it out and I will hang it on the wall here at the studio, and we'll do like Beef O'Brady's does with coloring pages for children. Do restaurants still do that for kids, where the kid the kid colors the coloring page, and then the waitress or waiter takes the coloring page, and then you stick it on the wall?
No, they don't stick it on the wall. But
that's a dying art, isn't it? Pun intended.
Does Maisie still get the coloring page?
Dude, Maisie,
my sons still get
Maisie's
it. They're like, yes,
Maisie's
please.
been ordering off this whole year. For the last year, she does full adult menu.
No, full
adult
kids,
menu. I had Andrea take a picture this morning for breakfast. She had 14 ounces of milk, a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant, and a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. 2 big breakfast sandwiches and a 14-ounce glass of milk. And then when we go to like an ale house, she'll get the pub burger, like the one that a man gets, like the big-ass burger with a knife in it and a side of fries.
Max won't even eat ketchup.
No,
he's never had ketchup, never had mayonnaise, never had a sauce.
Well, have you offered it to him?
Yes.
Okay.
He just doesn't want any sauce. He wants nothing.
He doesn't like any sauces? Oh, we're sauce crazy.
Yeah. The no sauce. He likes cheese bread.
Okay.
Mac and cheese.
Oh, that's rough. I'm sorry.
That's it. And no matter what, I mean, we force him. It's been years of forcing him to eat vegetables. Like,
what about Tommy? What's he do? How's he doing?
Better, but not anywhere close to. I mean, he'll eat burger. Tommy recently got into wings, which I'm very happy about.
Maisie loves wings, dude. She'll rip some wings.
So me and Tommy have been eating wings together.
Nice.
So he likes flats.
That's a smart boy.
Yeah.
Holy crap! You got my kids. Yeah. Like, honestly, man, it's ridiculous. The things that you tell me that just make me mad.
Max won't. Well, Maisie, you eat like a Hell's Angel.
Yeah, she does eat like a biker. She really, really does. Let's go with. I was gonna go with. I said we had some good emails. This one confirmed. This is from Link. He said, Dan, a fellow BDM, Ben Bruns, does audio on band tours. He was at Coachella. He might have insight as to what happened if you want to reach out to him. We were talking about like when the sound was a little wonky at Coachella.
Or went off, and then it just they had to end the show early, and I'm
sure he knows because he was there, and I did see a photo of him and the crew from Coachella 2025, and he was working it, so yeah.
I mean, it's stupid for me to even say, like, how does this happen? It's like this, they're building all this, I know they do it every year, but they're, erecting the city for Coachella. It's super complicated. Like, I'm sure they're bringing in outside power generators or whatever, tapping into
everything.
I don't know. It's complicated. So one small thing happens and it creates a chain reaction that causes the sound to turn off.
Yeah, it could be anything. I don't know. Man. Yeah. Honestly, I remember, sometimes it's just like the humidity can ruin a soundboard.
Yeah.
Like the other day on Monday, we had our power supply just crap out. Like, I didn't even touch it. You were watching it. We just had the whole video side of what we do just went out. And I'm like, well, I didn't do that.
It's funny how spoiled we've gotten with electronics, because I remember when electronics used to not work as well. It was around
I don't complain anymore. They're very consistent.
Like the time, like in horror movies when you jumped in a car and the car's like, they wouldn't start.
I remember that. I remember my mom's Honda was not reliable.
Yeah. It's like that. Everybody accepted that because that was a thing. And I'm sure in the future, or even now, people, would be confused. Like, why didn't that car start? Never seen a car not
beeped
start.
up. Beeped up batteries, beeped up starters.
Yeah,
you know.
Why is there to even start? You just hit the gas. It drives electric. Right?
That's my car. Like honestly, my
you
car's
can't even know
always
it's on.
Yeah.
And so like all these tropes can't be used anymore. And then it's like we're mad because electronics turns off every 6 months. It'll randomly turn off. We're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how dare you?
I don't complain anymore, man, because like we've been in the studio long enough to have like, I mean, we do a lot with a little with the electronics we have. But I will say that the stuff that we've purchased has been very good to us. We are very lucky. Over the course of even being in this studio for almost 10 years, we've only lost power less than 10 times.
Yeah.
Maybe five times if I wanted to hit it on the head. This is from BDM John. He wants to talk about Minecraft. Hey, show, you're talking about Minecraft and the movie on the most recent ACT. I don't play it, but I have many, many years ago, and I knew a few interesting things about it. It's still being updated, so whatever version you play in the past, in my case, a good 12 years ago when my son was young, lots of things have been added since, but it's still updated. A key feature of the game is being able to mod it. Players can make mods that you download and play over the base game. For example, you can make a world where lava slowly rises until it covers everything, or the Last of Us type zombie apocalypse where mold grows and infects everything, or a water world with pirate ships. There's also a whole community with sexy mods, I hear. Mahjong tiles to shut them, Mahjong, I guess that's the company that makes it. And then I put tiles in there because my brain wanted to say Mahjong tiles. Because that's how the human brain works, right? It was like trying to put together this guy's email. Mahjong tries to shut them down, but they are persistent. Everything from giving players or NPCs big boobs and butts to full-on anatomically correct nudity and sex scenes. It's all the same block-a-man pixel art, I believe. Not my thing, but yeah, it's out there. Perverts everywhere. There you go.
So I wonder who started, like, was it a company or was it a small group of developers that came together and came up with Minecraft? And
no, I think it's like the company Mahjong.
Okay.
I think that's what he was saying.
Okay.
I think it's a company.
So the company came up with it, and I wonder what after all these years, have made off of Minecraft and that brand.
And it could very well be one guy, kind of like Balatro. We've talked about that game before, and that's one Canadian man.
Yeah, but if you work for the company gets it because you signed a contract that says whatever you come up with.
We know that better than most, right?
But so, I mean, it's netted them over $1 billion, right? Like over this much time.
Well over that.
With the
Are you talking about
the
IP?
movie rights?
The IP alone is $1 billion, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Minecraft pillows I've seen at birthday parties? Just me.
No. Yeah.
How many Minecraft birthday parties have you been to for other kids, and then every toy they open is Minecraft?
Yeah. There was a long time, years, where my sons loved everything Minecraft. Yeah. All the figures and everything.
It's one of the only ones Maisie will still go back to. Roblox, she won't go back to.
Oh, she's done with Roblox? My sons are still Roblox
she's
crazy.
Out. She says it's for babies, but she'll go back to Minecraft.
Has she played Roblox fishing? Max really into fishing.
Oh, that sounds good.
He rides around on a jet ski and he fishes for megalodons.
I wouldn't do that. No, she won't do it. She does no video games now. Now she just watches videos. It's videos only on the iPad.
Okay.
No video games.
What videos do you see?
Makeup tutorials and a lot of dance videos. It's all adult stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all. The girls are different, man.
My sons are still watching.
I still play video games. I'm a boy.
What's the guy's name? The cheese.
Queso.
Queso.
He's huge.
Yeah, they still watch Queso, and they just want to see in the chat room make fun of him. And then he reads he's like, what? You're calling me a fat POS? He pretends to get mad, and that's the whole thing. And my sons laugh and laugh. And I'm like, well, that's what I do.
So you just
and I'm not making rich.
Why don't you show them what you do, and maybe they would watch you?
No,
would you like?
No. Because he's doing it all different.
What's he doing? Sitting at his gaming table?
Yeah, he's playing a game, and then so they're watching that, and then
the kids that watch Queso, and I'm guessing he's a man in his 20s or early 30s.
Something like that. He could be
late
28.
teens or something. Yeah,
he's a heavier guy with a beard.
But he shouldn't be. I mean, he certainly shouldn't be a fat guy that just makes his money from thousands of teen boys watching him. But he is.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it is what it is, right? But his main guys watching are Tommy's age, like 10 to 15.
I guess so. Yeah.
And that's his. See,
And then
I wouldn't want that. That would be difficult for me.
And then he plays games, and then the
How do you keep that clean?
The chat room makes fun of him.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't keep that clean.
But he's just like, he pretends to get mad or insulted about them making fun of him, and he just takes the funniest comments. He's just farming comedians because like he'll only say the funny things, but he's got thousands and thousands of people. So like 1 out of 1,000 is gonna have a real zinger.
So if you were to,
and, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, of course.
So he's got a bunch of people saying things, and then he'll read the funny ones, and then people will be like, "Oh, that's so funny." Okay, so you read a comment from one of a teen boy.
So do the boys?
Teen boy should get the money.
So when your boys watch it, do they chat?
No.
Okay.
They're just watching the videos. So
but they like it when other kids their age
make fun of them.
Make fun of them and say, "Hey, you're an ugly fat gamer. You're a big fat man."
Yeah.
And we're your teen audience. And then he's like, "Oh," and then they're like, got him again.
But they also, because I tell them, and Crystal's like, "Quit ruining everything," because I love ruining things, as you know.
That he's leaning in a little bit.
Yeah. I'm like, this is part of his entertainment, Like
I'm glad you're ruining that.
Yeah. But they know, and they're like, "Oh, we know." And they almost are like,
but they never miss an episode.
If he was genuinely hurt by it, it wouldn't be funny. They are. They know.
All right.
So like, they know this is all, and like he's in on
and
the
it
joke.
upsets you though because it's a nothing.
Yes, yeah.
I understand. You know what? You did
It's
a
a
decent
waste
job
of
of explaining
genie
that.
time.
You did a decent job of explaining that.
But
everything is.
Yeah.
Or can be classified as that.
Yeah. I mean, so it's
I
like,
want to go back to this Minecraft porno. I didn't know they had any Minecraft porno, John.
That's not. It couldn't even. No. Very few people could be interested in actual Minecraft porno because it's just blocks, and it would be just a cartoon nothing. Like a bunch of blocks.
It's more of, I think, the essence of interacting with another human. So, like, if I'm in there as a pillager and you're in there as a creeper and we're knocking our noses together, I mean, I might get something out of that.
Creeper, they got a big square one. Big green square one.
This is the email I was looking for last week. This is from DJ from Davenport. He's been going to the Tap That Beer House in Davenport.
Yeah.
And we partnered with them, and he loves that place. He says it is his favorite place to go. He wanted to know if we have any plans to meet up there. We don't, but man, I'm not opposed. I'd love to go get a beer in Davenport.
It is. I mean, we want to do a lot of mini meetups and stuff. But it's hard because.
Explain it to people because we would like to do this kind of stuff, but it is difficult, man.
So Tap That Beer House are like, and they're like, and people listening to this are like, why is it hard just to go to Davenport and then show up for a meetup and whatever? Who cares? Just go Friday afternoon after the show. Yeah, that part's not hard. The hard part is you plan a meetup, right? So then there's an expectation from Tap That for like, as soon as we do that,
it's got to be a hit.
Then
we
they're
can't
gonna
be stupid.
They're gonna say like, we're gonna prepare, we're gonna hire some, or make sure we have properly staffed.
I mean,
and
30 people
you're like,
are
no, stop.
30 people are a failure. I would say that, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'd be upset. Like if we couldn't pull 30, and that's not even a lot. If we couldn't get 30 in there, I'd be very upset.
Yeah. So then then under 30 is a failure, right? So and I know people are like, well, who cares? No one's paying for anything.
Care.
Like so then because then the perception if like 5 people show up, you're like, oh, no one.
Yeah.
Well,
also, Eric, you pulled all the merch out there.
But you know why? Is because nowadays you have to full on promote something a lot. And you have to promote it on social. You have to promote it on multiple shows because people are listening from behind.
You have to remind people too, man.
Yeah, you have to remind them to go.
Because they'll
you have to give them a reason.
Yeah.
They're being pulled. They got families. Everybody's got things to do. So you're like, oh, well, why Tom and Dan's in Davenport? Well, I live...
do you know how many BDMs couldn't make it to our BDM appreciation party, and I got the emails to show it?
Yeah, I live in Claremont, so I'm going to drive out to Davenport or whatever. You know, so even if you lived in Davenport, it'd be easy, but then it's like, I got something to do this day.
Yeah.
And then, or it's like, I missed it. I'm 2 weeks behind on shows or whatever. Like,
I got one of those yesterday from a guy who said, BDM appreciation's this weekend, right?
Yeah.
A very good friend of mine said that.
And so...
You missed it, buddy.
So the promotional schedule to put something like this together takes a lot of that time and effort.
It does.
And then so and then you have to do it far enough out. You have to let everybody know. You know, it's
also we have to make sure it jives with Tap That. You know, they might already have something going on that we're conflicting with, or they might have a private party,
how
or
about
they
this
might want to
thing?
order some special beer, so you guys have a special beer on tap, because we might want to partner with another type of brewery that might want to partner with Tap That. So it's complicated.
Yeah, but with all that being said, not that hard. You know, like I can tell Melissa, I'm like, promote Tap That, and then we're gonna be out there, like we get out there drunk.
Oh, I'd love that. You love a path of least resistance, and I think you're rubbing off on people. Right. Remember a couple weeks ago, Moses DeWitt was in here, Mo DeWitt, from the DeWitt Law Firm. Mo DeWitt is our attorney.
Just call Mo.
JustCallMo.com. And we read an email. I'll read it again. It was, I'll just give you a paraphrase. It was for a guy that, you know, he's up on tenure with OCPS. Depending on, you know, he's coming in for a landing. He wants to make sure that he's in that drop program, and he also wanted to get his medical marijuana license, and he was worried that there would be an issue with him getting that, and also retiring. He's only got a little bit longer to go. I think it's November, and then he's done. And so he wrote an email. It is an update. He says, "Hey, Dan, thanks for asking Mo. I appreciate it. You can tell Tom that I have stopped until I fully retire." So he got rid of all his medical marijuana. No more. Path of least resistance. He said, "I woke up one morning and had a really bad panic attack about it. That was it.
Or you're just high.
It's not worth the paranoid all the time. I'll keep my card up to date, but I will not partake again. Thanks again."
And listen, no one's immune to this. I do this, and I have to beat myself to get out of this. And I'll explain. It's like
beat yourself.
Yeah. I have to tell them, like, stop, don't do this. This is why, like, how you get afraid and you start not doing anything. Is smoking weed in public is illegal, right?
Oh, I do it all the time.
So, like, that is technically illegal by the letter of the law.
And so is speeding.
Right? And if you look up, hey, has there anybody been arrested for smoking weed in public? A story will come up, because that's how the internet works.
Oh,
it takes all
this
stories.
Is the WebMD.
Yeah. And then you read the story about someone that was smoking a joint, minding his own business, and the cops came and whatever, and then he ends up, because of some prior thing.
Yeah, but you've taught me to say that didn't happen.
He's in jail, and then you're like, oh my God, I can't go to jail, whatever. So like, oh, I'm not smoking weed in public. Meanwhile, you can go out to the park and you can smoke weed by yourself and no one cares.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and no one's going to catch you. The cops.
Well, it's case by case, right? It's like, where are you doing it? What are you doing? Are you making good decisions, right?
So you can get your medical marijuana card, but if you look up, has someone lost their pension by getting a medical marijuana card? Yes, a story will come up. But you understand how many people there are? And this is a problem with our own brains.
There's also, every job is different.
Yeah, no, of course, but we can't understand statistics. I can't understand statistics. That's why I'm bad at gambling. No one can. Our brains haven't evolved to understand. So when we see it happen to one person, we're like, oh, it could happen to me, but it really can't. And statistically, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to. The probability is you're going to be fine.
It really can't. That's the part that people don't like. I think if you addend that, if you say
the chances
it's highly unlikely, then people are like, I'm on board.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah.
But I rather say can't, because
I know.
If you say highly unlikely,
but then people like me will say like,
there's
a 1% chance.
Here's the story. 2012, this person lost
because
everything.
It's inaccurate. Really, it's highly unlikely. It's a 99% chance that it will not happen.
I wonder how many things people don't do because they search on the internet and they found one story now. It's caused.
Well, I mean,
it's caused our society to be more scared of everything.
Pot on a cruise ship, wine on a cruise ship, anything on a cruise ship, people Google and then don't do.
Yeah.
I know that.
One granny got arrested. And then you're
Andrea, the guy pulled Andrea's bottles of wine now, and he's like, "Oh, wine, this will be great."
Oh, well, yeah, wine they just hold. Me and Crystal got caught with that on a monster cruise.
He put it right back in our bag. He's like, it's fine.
They used to hold it till the end of the cruise. They give it back to you. But anyway, it's a lot of these things are highly unlikely, but we get scared by one. Quit looking at it.
I'm just saying, people are going to say, quit saying, not going to happen. Say highly unlikely.
Quit looking at that. I've had a lump in my neck for a long time, for 2 months.
The big one that looks like cancer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's black.
And guess what will happen if I search, what is this lump in my neck?
Yeah. Oh, you got that?
Guess what I'll see? You see what I'm saying?
Where you got that?
I don't need to see that.
You got that Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I got some sort of lymph node infection from having a cold or whatever.
Oh, you got that Michael Douglas. You got the HPV tongue.
But if I search it, it's going straight to cancer. And then now I got that in my head.
Oh, you really
I
did.
was like,
You
wait,
just
is
said
it
that
cancer?
all the girls in the chat room are flipping out now.
Yeah. If I search, can I take weed on a plane?
Yeah.
Then you see someone that got arrested.
Type Michael Douglas.
There's 5 million
Eats
people.
it. Google. Let's try this one right here. Let's end with a voicemail. This is from DeBerry Joe, I think.
What's up, dudes? I'm listening to the Monday ACT show, Week Love, and you guys are talking about some guy by the name of Dave Blunt, and I've never seen him, so I don't know how big he is.
This is Big Rick. He's calling in about a rapper. This rapper has come to a lot of recent notoriety because he's claiming that he wrote every song on Kanye West's new album, which came out a week ago. It was called World War III, but since he released yesterday via Twitter that he used to perform sexual acts with his cousin at the age of 14, I think he's since changed the name of the album to Cuck. If I'm correct, I try to keep up on this until
What does
Tracy.
that have to do with that? Has nothing to do with
This guy's wild. But anyway, Dave Blunt is on this album called Cuck. And Dave is now claiming that he wrote all of the songs for Kanye West on this particular album.
Okay.
And now Big Rick is calling in because we do mention Dave Blunt time and time again. You know, now we'll mention him. He's a very large rapper. He's about 500 pounds. And Big Rick called in because he is a big man. And he continues.
But I know I'm a big boy, right? I weigh 350 right now. But when I was younger, I weighed a solid 280. And I went to a bunch of punk shows, went to a bunch of reggae, ska shows, all that good stuff, and I crowd surfed. And the thing is about crowd surfing is that when you're my size, everyone's like, oh, no, just like that. And so what I ended up doing one time over at the social when I wanted to crowd surf is I got up on stage, faked to go left, and then went right, and it was hysterical. But I crowd surfed. All right, love you guys. Mean it.
So he faked like he was going to jump to the left, and then he went and jumped to the right. I don't think that happened, Rick.
Well, also, you're crushing the people. I guess with enough people,
not with
even
enough
at
people, you'd be fine.
280, that's not that distributed amongst. Well, really, there's 2 or 3.
There's only a couple people really holding you.
Yeah, the vast
other
majority.
people just kind of put their hand up, and then some people are grabbing your genitals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've always been a genital grabber.
God, 1998 Warped Tour Miami.
Yeah. My wife got pregnant crowd surfing.
I mean, the amount of sexual battery happening with teen girls as they crowd surf.
People would turn to you and be like, hey, you want to go into the pit and grab girls?
Yeah. That was happening. I mean, my God.
Don't do that. Be respectful to humans.
Also, as a young teen girl, don't you not want that to happen? But there's crowd surfing crazy.
Well, nothing's going to stop my crowd surfing, You're not going to stop my crowd surfing.
Isn't this uncomfortable?
Well, nobody said anything about it, right? Nobody said, hey, you know if you go in there, you crowd surf. It's a dangerous place.
I would see it happen, and then they'd lose track of them. I see them back on stage, do it again.
Maybe it was good. Maybe it was good. I never tried it. I never did it. Don't knock it till you tried it.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Is that it?
That's it today.